Should I quit my job is probably the question I get asked the most from potential clients, current clients, and even friends. And it's such a nuanced question because there really is no right or wrong answer. Sure, some people will give you an instant yes. If you hate your job, then yes, quit. It's the obvious next step. Others will claim that no one likes their job, so just suck it up. I would say don't listen to either of these people because there are so many layers to this question. It's not as simple as saying just yes or no. It took me a good 2 years to finally quit my job. I kept flip-flopping between hating it and semi-tolerating it. I was stressed out all the time, exhausted, basically burnt out, and I knew I couldn't keep going on the way that I was. But I kept telling myself, what a waste. You went to university for this. You've worked years to get into this position. Why would you just throw it away now? So I talked myself out of quitting and stayed stuck for a very long time. In the end, it got to the point where I just couldn't do my job anymore. I couldn't work with the people that I was working with, and I knew that I had to leave. I would definitely say that traveling helped me escape adulthood and avoid my responsibilities for a while. It did elongate the process of getting my shit together. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't working. I was working. I was teaching English in Peru, which opened my eyes up to a remote working lifestyle. But I still didn't know what I wanted to do, like the nitty gritty, the thing that I was going to jump out of bed for and be excited for every single day. What I've really learned since then is that the 9-to-5 job that I quit was only half the problem. The other half was me and not knowing at all what I wanted out of life or what I wanted it to look like. So if I were to quit my job today and save time, money, and all the heartache in figuring everything out, this is what I would do. If you're new here, hi, I'm Thalia. I'm a certified health coach and the creator of Notes by Thalia, a self-development hub for corporate girls ready to bounce back from burnout and transform their draining job into a career they love. Every week, I share content on burnout recovery, self-development, finding joy, and career growth. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. This first tip is going to sound super basic, but bear with me because I promise it really works. This tip is super effective in visually seeing everything you do like about your job, because when you're stuck in either burnout or boredom, it can be hard to see the good. And of course, you only focus on the stuff that you don't like. If you haven't guessed already, you've got to write a pros and cons list. I swear every dead career coach is probably rolling in their grave right now. So under the pros column, write down everything that you enjoy or appreciate about your job. This might look like a great team, flexible working hours, or opportunities to learn new skills. On the opposite side, write down everything that you find frustrating or stressful about your job. Maybe it's the fact that you have to work long hours, a lack of work-life balance, and feeling like there's no opportunity to grow within your role. Be honest here. This is only going to work if you sit with yourself in silence and dig really deep. I don't want you to hold back. If you hate your boss, then write that down. If there's eye candy, write that down. Nothing is off limits here. Feel free to brain dump everything that's coming to your head. Seeing how you really feel about your job, why you want to quit in the first place, and if there are any redeeming qualities can help you find clarity on what steps to take next. If your pros list is longer than your cons list, then you might just be stuck in a rut. Stick with it for now and find ways to make your job more enjoyable for the time being. And if your cons list is longer than your pros list, then it might be time to quit. Step 2 is to reconnect with or figure out your core values if you haven't done this work before. Your core values are your guiding principles, your North Star. You're finding out what drives you, what motivates you, what pushes you out of bed in the morning. If you're anything like my clients, you probably value freedom, family, joy, creativity, gratitude, and autonomy. But I do suggest that you spend time figuring this out yourself because it can really help you answer the question, should I quit my job? You're basically asking, am I working in a place that aligns with or even supports my core values? Because if your job doesn't align with what truly matters to you, it's always going to feel like a grind. You're always going to have that feeling in the pit of your stomach or in your gut that something really is not right. So getting clear on your core values is the next obvious step, as they will really help you either reshape your current role or look for something that does align, because the last thing you want to do is quit the job you have now and jump straight into another job that is super similar, where after 3 months of being the new girl in town wears off, you're right back where you started, questioning whether you made a mistake if you jumped too soon, if maybe you shouldn't have quit your job in the first place, and maybe should you quit this one. That is what we want to avoid. I have a super helpful blog post on this. I give you the 5-step framework to mapping out your core values. I will link that down below, but I 10 out of 10 recommend that you go and check that out. I think we can all agree that quitting your job is not a quick process. There's the resignation period. Maybe you need to go on gardening leave. Then there's that whole thing of actually finding a new job. Things take time. So before fully committing to that, I would try and improve my current situation, because a lot of the time it's not just our job that we're unsatisfied with. It's everything else. Our social life, our dating life, the relationship that we have with our family, money, appearance. So the next step would be to sit down and audit your entire life. This is the first exercise I do with my new clients to give me a bird's eye view of where they're currently at. And it works so well because it usually brings up things that they didn't even realize were a problem, things that they can start working on straight away. So on a piece of paper, write down 5 to 8 areas in your life that are most important to you. On my list, I have friendships, work, money, mindset, hobbies, relationships, health, and appearance. Once you have your own list, you're then going to go through each area and give it a score between 1 and 10. 1 means completely unsatisfied, whereas 10 is extremely satisfied. Once you have all your scores written down, you're then going to choose 2 areas that fall below a 6 that you want to improve. You're going to ask yourself, how can I bring this score up by a couple of points? What do I need to do? For example, right now, my health is probably at a 6. So to bring that up to an 8, I know that I need to schedule in yoga every single day next week to help me feel like my best self. You'll be surprised that if you actively work on bringing up the satisfaction levels in other areas of your life, then your job won't feel so bad. You might even stop asking the question, should I quit? And dare I say it, actually start enjoying your job again. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is you book in a call with me, which is still a win-win. If you want help from someone who's been there, so you're not relying on friends and family who are just going to push their agenda onto you, or even ChatGPT, who loves to agree with everything that you say, you can book in a free clarity call with me now. The link for that is in the description below. We'll spend 30-ish minutes chatting about your current job situation, your career goals, and what's really on your mind, so you can get the clarity you need to either quit or stay and slay. I guarantee that after this call, you will have the answer on what to do next. That's it for this week. For more burnout recovery and career advice, head over to my website and check out my latest notes and resources, or take the free Burnout Girlie quiz to find out your personalized recovery plan. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. I'll see you soon.